what do I wish I knew when I got into real estate that I know now? That's a question I get asked a lot. And I gotta tell you, I started in real estate in 2002 in the Sunset Strip of Los Angeles in one of the craziest seller markets around. And so I learned so many valuable lessons the hard way, right? I learned lessons by putting in like 10 offers a week on properties and not getting any of them because I was working with buyers, because that's what new agents are told that they should be doing, right? And we get so many other agents telling us what we can and can't do, managers telling us what we can and can't do or should and shouldn't do. And so here's the thing. I love inspiring new agents. I love inspiring people to succeed at the highest levels because I believe that they're being given all these false messages. I call them myth understandings. What's a myth understanding? Let me give you the perfect example. You can't be a real estate agent at the beginning of your career. This is the message I wish I had learned. I really wish somebody had come to me and said, you can be a real estate agent right at the beginning of your career when you focus on listings. And it is just as hard to build a business working with buyers as it is working with sellers. And when you learn some of the most important facts about real estate, you get inspired as a new agent to go out there and build a wonderfully successful business. So what are the things that you need to know that would inspire you as a new agent, right? Here's what I needed to know. If I knew that 80% of the homeowners were orphaned by their agents, what does that mean? It means that the agent sold them the home and never stayed in touch with them. So that means in any relative area, 8 out of 10 people don't have a real estate agent that they're connected to. That's incredible, right? That means that they are wide open and ready for you to go out there and communicate with them and connect with them. Here's the thing, when we get into real estate, we don't feel confident. There's so much to learn and we're so afraid of making mistakes or saying the wrong things or not being able to build a connection with somebody when we go out there. And yeah, those were all fears that I absolutely had. And I actually was limited by them for a long period of time. And when I got into coaching after a year and a half, that's when everything shifted for me. That's when I literally decided I was going to be one of the top listing agents in Los Angeles. And my partner and I became the #1 listing agents for all of Keller Williams in California, just by following the things that I'm about to talk to you about, right? It's that simple. When you start in real estate, there's a few things that you need to do. First and foremost, you need to start empowering your mindset. And that's why I'm holding this book here. One of my favorite things in the world is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It changed my life. And by the way, when I was a manager for Keller Williams in Hancock Park in 2008, when the market was horrific, we became one of the top 10 offices in the country by understanding that this was the perfect opportunity for agents to build listing businesses. And guess what? 2025, we are here again, and I believe that it will be an even better time for new agents to build their businesses with listings, to become listing agents from the beginning of their career. And make no mistake about it, with all the changes that have come down through all of these lawsuits, you have no idea what's going to happen on the buyer side. I wouldn't focus on buyers at all. When you focus on listing, buyers come to you. What I understood was when I was focused on being a listing agent, the buyers were all chasing after me. And I got to pick and choose who I wanted to work with. So the most important thing is start feeding yourself positive things. When you understand that your mind is the most powerful thing, whatever you can conceive and whatever you can believe you can actually achieve, then you get excited about feeding positive things into your mind, about changing the way you're looking at things, about transforming as a human being and becoming an amazing communicator, becoming somebody who's reaching out to people who have real estate needs. You know, one of the funniest things I learned when I got into real estate was everyone's like, oh, salesman, smart me, blah, blah. I wasn't selling anything. If I'm talking to you as a consumer, I'm not trying to sell you something, right? You either have a need or you don't have a need. And I'm there to find out, do you have a need? And more importantly, I'm there to support you with that need. You know, what I learned as a new agent when I was going out there and talking to homeowners, and I was door knocking and I was picking up the phone and I was calling people and I was talking to them, engaging in really amazing conversations, I learned that so many of them were being given advice from their cousin or their neighbor or whoever, or somebody at work, about real estate because they thought they were mavens, they understood, and they knew nothing. And they were given all this horrible information. So what I realized was I'm literally doing them a service by being out there and supporting them and talking to them about what's really important about their real estate needs, which is what's their motivation, what's driving them. When you understand how to do a listing presentation or a buyer consultation, the goal isn't just to get that business from that particular seller or that particular buyer. The goal is to find out what their overall objective is and find the best pathway to get there. Because a lot of times when you're not asking the right questions, they're not sharing all of the information, and then the transaction is purely transactional. What does that mean? It's purely transactional. It means that you're literally just trying to get a commission and sell a property. You're not finding out what's the most important thing for these people. What are they looking to do? What are they looking to do in their future? You know, my goal was to become a real estate consultant and have clients for life. And when I started talking to people and started asking them questions instead of trying to tell them all these amazing things about how great I was, when I got into coaching and they taught me how to make my presentations question-based and focus on the consumer, then my business exploded. It was magical. And by the way, I want to share something with you. I was in Los Angeles, right? In the Sunset Strip in West Hollywood. That's where I was. And I would meet with these sellers and they would literally tell me that every other top agent, and if I named them right now, you would know who they were. Every top agent in town would come to their listing appointment and say, I'm the best, I'm the most amazing, and you should work with me, and never ask them about what their goals are and what their needs are. And so I, not having all that experience as a new agent, not having all these track record of success, all I could do was make it about the consumer. All I could do was ask, what's the most important thing to you? And people literally broke down. I had a couple of people who literally started crying because they were like, you're the only person that asked me that, and I've had 10 people come through here. That was like one of the most illuminating lessons for me. That me, as somebody who cares about people, as somebody who got into real estate sales in order to support people, in order to help them, that I could build a really successful business by doing those things, by focusing on developing connection quickly and easily, learning how to communicate effectively with people, finding out their motivation, and coming up with the best strategies for them. And when I did that consistently, and I talked to a certain amount of people every week, then I knew exactly what kind of business I was going to have. I knew where my business was going to come from. I knew how much business I had in my proverbial pipeline. And that's where I exponentially grew my business every single year, doubling the business and working less while I was doing it. Wait. How do you double your business and work less, right? Well, when you become intentional as you're moving forward in real estate, when you focus on only one or two areas, and that's where you put your energy to get your business, to source sellers, as we like to say, right? When you focus on one or two areas and you're consistent about it, you will absolutely be able to get listings from it. So when you talk about getting one listing a month in $1 million area is worth $300,000 a year, because each listing is $25,000 and there's 12 months in the year. So that's $300,000 just off of one listing a month. And what ends up happening, I see realtors do it all the time. They have all these people trying to sell them leads, telling them that they should be doing social media, posting, doing all these things, except for what? The most important thing, which is communicating with people, effectively talking to people, learning what's driving them, what their motivation is, what their needs are, and then focusing on that and supporting them the right way. And when you learn how to do this, you separate yourself from everybody else who's out there looking at commissions, looking at how much money they can make. And your focus is on what? It's on supporting your clients. And when your focus is on supporting your clients, the money will always come massively, right? If you're focused on the money, the commission in a deal, people are going to feel that off of you. When you're focused on supporting them, on getting them whatever it is that they want, then the commission will come. That's a part of the process, right? So I learned how to focus on the process. And when I got into coaching after a year and a half, I quickly became a listing agent. I quickly learned how to build communication effectively, how to build rapport with people. I learned how to become a great listing agent. And it was the most exciting time in my life. I mean, I had a partner, we were literally taking, 5 to 8 listings a month in Los Angeles, which is almost unheard of. So I want all of you new agents to know one thing. Anybody, whether you're new or you've been in this business 10 years, you have the opportunity right now to transform into a listing agent. I believe it takes 90 days to become a listing agent. We are creating different habits for you, right? We are focused on building the habits, on doing role play, because there's only so many questions you're going to get in real estate and only so many objections you're going to have in real estate. And when you know how to handle them, then you become a master of real estate. So when you're focused on sellers and you're role playing your conversations and you're being accountable, then the sky's the limit. I believe that every agent should be making $250,000 a year by their 3rd year in real estate and only go up from there. That is what we believe at Real Momentum, and that's what we foster at Real Momentum, and we are able to do it consistently. I've trained so many new agents from so many different companies. I was a manager at Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, and Compass, and the one thing they had in common was everybody was telling them all of this stuff that prevented them from really being able to create success for themselves. And I told them the opposite. I said, yes, you can be a listing agent. Come here. Let's do role play. I'll help you become a listing agent quickly and easily. And that's the effect that it had. And it supports the consumers, and it supports growth in the office, and it supports you being able to build the life that you want to live, financial freedom for yourself by doing what it is that you want to do, supporting consumers. So now we are in 2025 coming up, and this will be the best time for agents to focus on becoming listing agents. You will see so many new agents become listing agents and take market share over, because we're going to lose a lot of agents in the community. There's going to be a lot of people that get out of real estate, and there's going to be a lot of orphans out there that are looking for someone who's going to reach out to them and talk to them and engage in a real conversation. So I wish I had this conversation at the beginning of my career. I wish somebody had sat me down and talked to me about what it is that I need to focus on in order to create success for myself. And that's why I am on a mission to help agents create success for themselves. My mission is to help people become the cause of their lives rather than the effect of their lives. And when you're a cause and you're proactive and you're doing the right things, success comes easily. Mahalo, everybody. Thank you.